Okay, so we are live. Hold on. What? Okay. Trying to refresh the page so I could see it. Who's
No
on the phone?
problem.
We are live. There. Okay. All right. So, hey guys, welcome. I guess good evening for you guys. Maybe some places it might be morning already. So, anyway, welcome to and how you say my name is AkaoRyu. So AkaoRyu's podcast series, and this is my special guest Michael Scott. He is a paranormal investigator. He just hit 12K, so like congratulations on that.
Thank you.
No problem, buddy. I appreciate that. And this share who you are and what you're about, and what got you into YouTube and editing, and then getting into the paranormal, and then we could share your stories after that. So
Sure, no problem. So my name is Michael. I have a channel here on YouTube, paranormal channel. I'm mostly paranormal investigator. Sometimes I go to different abandoned places, but usually I'll just do abandoned places if they have some type of ghost story associated with them. But yeah, paranormal channel here on YouTube. But I've been investigating hauntings a lot longer than that. I just decided to start putting them up on YouTube for other people to watch if they wanted.
so it's not because I known you the little bit of time I had known you, but what I appreciate so much about your work and what you do is so like the fact that you're so genuine and authentic is lately obviously we both agree there's been a lot of trending, a lot of like paranormal, but like um I mean big YouTubers that have been like faking their videos and stuff like that. So that's like one thing I really, really appreciate, the fact that when you go out there and you're trying to get evidence that it's authentic and genuine. So
Yeah, like I said, I've been investigating a lot longer than I've been on YouTube. So for me, my reputation as an investigator is, above all else.
yeah.
If I'm going out and capturing evidence, I want everybody to know that it's 100% authentic, it's real. And, that's why I go out to these places, is to catch real evidence and show people that there might be something out there after this life, that, ghosts exist, or, monsters or creatures or whatever I go searching for in that video. So yeah, I just like to keep it 100%. And, I don't mind people making videos if it's for entertainment, as long as they say it's for entertainment purposes. But it just kind of irritates me a little bit when people,
Fake
put
them.
on the yeah. But yeah, I just like to keep it real, and above all else, make sure that my reputation as a paranormal investigator is up there.
I appreciate that, Michael. We do have a viewer. I think it's Neil Spencer. So, welcome, Neil. Hopefully, more people will show up. um, but no, man, I appreciate that fact. So, I guess I would say like, what draws you so much? Like, I guess actually, what was your first paranormal experience?
Oh, my first paranormal experience.
Like what?
To be honest, I don't remember my first paranormal experience. I think it was more, I've always been into like anything spooky, creepy, Halloween, horror movies. And I think it just kind of grew from there, that, from watching all these scary movies and seeing how ghosts are portrayed and stuff like that, I wanted to know for myself, does this stuff really exist? Is it really out there? Does it happen like you see in the movies? Or, so I think that's kind of what sparked me into going out and investigating. And I started, I wouldn't really call it investigating, because I was like 16 years old and I was just walking around cemeteries with my friends. But yeah, well, most of my friends in high school were out partying or whatever. I would drag all of my friends to the cemetery with me to see if we could catch any ghosts or see anything spooky. So that was always my fun or form of entertainment while everybody else was doing whatever.
I'm trying to think. Like, so, like, I mean, did you ever live in a haunted house? Like, I guess we could
Uh,
also go with this too. Like, do you feel like you're highly sensitive and an empath?
a little bit. You know, one of the things that I'm I'm finding is I think the more time that you spend going to different haunted locations and the more time you spend around the paranormal, I think you become more sensitive to it because, you know, when I first started investigating, I felt like um, I didn't experience as much activity as I do now. And I think over time you do become more sensitive to it. I did live in a haunted house for um, it was probably 2 years, almost 3 years.
Almost right, yeah.
Um, yeah, nothing bad, nothing malicious. It wasn't a over the top activity or anything like that. When I moved in, I knew that somebody had passed away in the house, and so we would have, you know, little things happen, like sometimes a cabinet door would be open when we would come down in the morning, or for some reason there was this one cabinet, and all the time there was one screw that would always come out of the cabinet and it would be on the floor.
Hmm.
No matter how many times we put it in, we would put it in different locations, and it just kept coming off. My animals, they are always like staring up the stairs at something that wasn't there and growling at it. And
Yeah.
so just, you know, that kind of activity. Nothing like in the movies where I was getting dragged off the bed or anything like that. Just, you know, just little kind of bumps in the night.
I guess I guess for me, like when I what got me into it is like I guess ever since I was little, like when I was around 5, my parents in New Jersey lived in a haunted house. Like pretty much there were some spirits and stuff like that. Like, and I always sensed something wrong with it in like down the basement because they actually had a basement, you know, obviously in New Jersey and stuff like that. So um,
Hmm.
I don't know. I always felt like there was something like evil, something negative, and then I found which I was right. So like when I came down to Florida and you know moved with my parents and my grandparents, pretty much my grandfather mentioned that you know someone did hung themselves in that basement, and that's what I was probably feeling and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I guess a couple of years ago I started into like practicing meditation and things like that. I guess my first like full aberration, because I call it my spirit guide. I ever since I've seen that, like I could ever since yeah ever since I saw that, man, it like changed my whole perspective.
Yeah, it really, when you experience something like that, it opens your eyes to a whole new level of things that you either didn't believe in before or you were skeptical about and
Yeah,
now could really exist and are a possibility. And hello, I just want to say hi, everybody in the chat, and hi, Joey. How are you? Thanks for coming.
thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. So,
I like how she says that she's been dragged off the bed by her sibling.
oh man,
But yeah, like I said, the activity that we experienced in our house, it wasn't a great amount of activity. The only time that we had this like really bizarre experience in that house is we had gone to New Orleans for a little bit, and while we were there, of course, I wanted to do every paranormal thing that I could. So we were going on paranormal tours, staying at different haunted locations. We were going to all the different voodoo shops, and you know, there's different places in New Orleans that they're very standoffish about. Like people that live there, they'll walk on the other
yeah,
side of the street so that they don't have to be near it. And of course, me, I'm there like touching the sides of the walls, trying to like feel anything. So once we got home from New Orleans, it almost felt like something else had come home with us because we woke up in the middle of the night and there was just this really heavy presence in the room. It just felt like something was staring at us in the corner.
um,
And like we got so freaked out, we left the house at like 2 o'clock in the morning and we just drove around for an hour until we like got the courage to come back to the
yeah.
house. But yeah, that was the only like insane thing that happened. Everything else was just little. Like we had we had 2 cats at the time, and down in the basement there was a bunch of like cat toys, like the little balls that they would roll around on the ground.
Yeah.
And we would wake up in the middle of the night and hear what sounded like the cats playing with the cat toys, but then they would be laying on the foot of the bed. So it just like really weird stuff like that. And then you sit up in bed and you're looking around like, okay, if that's the cat right here, then what's making the noise downstairs?
Yeah, that's true. That's really interesting. How do you feel about all these like ghost shows and stuff like that? Do you I guess what's your opinion, or how do you feel like? And I'm sure you've seen a lot, so
You know, I'm on the fence because I do believe that some of the activity that they catch is authentic and is real.
right.
Um, but knowing how TV works and they want ratings and views, I do think they exaggerate some
Yeah,
things or dramatize them. It's but I don't know for sure. I'm not there. That's just my thoughts because
yeah,
I've been to a ton of really haunted locations. Like Villisca Axe Murder House, and um, although I did catch activity at these places,
right.
I've never seen something move with my eyes or had something thrown across the room or anything like that.
Yeah,
So I think some of it is a little hokey pokey, but I do think they do catch real evidence while they're there too.
appreciate that. It'd be really fun to do an investigation in Disney. Like definitely, like It's a Small World and the Haunted Mansion. I think
That would be really cool. At first, if I don't know, it would be really cool to get access to be in an attraction or something like that after hours and just walk around for a little bit because they do have all the rumors that certain guests have passed away on different rides and stuff like
right.
that. So it'd be neat to see if there is something lingering around afterwards.
Yeah, especially like It's a Small World. That'd be
Hmm.
interesting with all the dolls there.
Oh yeah, that ride is creepy even if it isn't haunted.
I know. I was gonna say, so like I'm sure you heard about the loss of Lorraine Warren and stuff like that. I guess what was I gonna mention, like how did you feel about it when that happened, when that dropped? And I don't know, like I'm
You
wondering what's the future for her museum and everything like that. So
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. I wonder what will happen to their museum that they have out there. Whether people believe everything the Warren said to be true, or whether they don't believe them. Regardless of that, she's still like the Warrens were pioneers in the paranormal field.
yeah,
They put a lot of things on the map and brought a lot of attention to the paranormal. So whether you're a fan of their work or not, it is sad that such a force in the field has passed away.
yeah, I thought it was really sad, and like yeah, I'm just wondering if like not sure. I wonder if Zach will try to get something from them.
I think he already has.
What?
Yeah, I think there's an item there, or there was an item at the Warrens Museum called the Devil's Rocking Chair, and I think it
Oh,
was just published that he bought it not soon after she passed, maybe like a week or two afterwards, and
okay.
scooped it up, and I think it's going to be at his museum soon.
Surprised he didn't get Annabelle because I know he wanted it so bad the last time.
Oh, I know. I wonder what's going to happen with Annabelle because I
Oh
I have a
man.
feeling there's a lot of people that will want her.
Yeah,
Hi, Michael Brown. How are you? He said go back to the Farnsworth house. The Farnsworth Inn was really, really cool. Super. That room that I stayed in was really freaky. I don't know. It was just creeped me out. Hi, Johnny. How are you? But yeah, the Farnsworth Inn in Gettysburg was a really cool place to stay at. The room itself just gave me a really creepy vibe because everything in there was really old, and they had this big wardrobe. It kind of reminded me of some of the set pieces out of The Conjuring.
Yeah.
So it was a really, really creepy place to stay at. But I was only there one night, which I wish I would have been there more. But Gettysburg in general is just
Yeah, Gettysburg
amazing.
is like, yeah, because there's like so much history there.
Yeah, exactly. The battlefield's really cool. Going to the Sachs Bridge was really cool. Although there was a lot more people at the Sachs Bridge than I thought. Like when
Hmm.
we went there,
Yeah.
even when we even when we went back late at night, there was still a big group of people there. Trying to investigate and see if they could catch any evidence.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I guess I was gonna say you have any also. Oh, I was gonna say, so like, what are your goals for this year, for 2019? And here's a good question: like, what were your revelations of 2018?
So when I went into 2018, I knew that I wanted to start traveling a ton for my channel, going to
Right.
different places, different locations, and I think I did a good job of that last year. I've been to so many places last year, I can't even name them all off the top of my head, but that was one of my goals for 2018 was to just visit all these places that were kind of like on my bucket list. And this year, I really wanted to focus more on my videos in general and making
Right.
them longer, putting more time into editing them, giving them more of a flow or like a storyline to them, instead of just like chopping them together. So,
Yeah.
um, along with still going to different locations, but yeah, really focusing on the quality of my videos as well this year.
I need to work on that. I'm
I
trying.
mean, it's like one of those things where, um, I don't like to judge my videos compared to anybody else's because what I do is different than what somebody else does, and
Right.
my style, the way that I edit, is different than the way other people edit. But I just like to kind of compete with myself. I like to try different things. I like to film different ways. I like to try to make each video just a little bit better. I'm by far not the best video creator out
I
there,
think
but
you're
I
really
just like
good,
to. Thank you. Yeah, but I just try to, I try to outdo myself.
man. And then so yeah, I think the other thing was like your goals for 2019 pretty much you're saying is to make your videos better quality.
Yeah, yeah, I want, because I think when, I think when you first start making videos, you're learning so much about how to make a video and how to edit the video.
Yeah, editing
Um,
is always a little bit hard.
yeah, how to, um, how to get your point across within a short amount of time and to be concise. And then after that, I feel like once you get a rhythm down, then you can really start nitpicking and really focus on different areas that you want to make better or improve upon.
Okay. Because I'm just thinking like I know when I first started, it was just learning get some I guess we could talk about that different softwares and like I guess we're kind of getting into like the nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
But I love all this stuff. So like right now I'm using a lot of iMovie, but I know eventually I want to get into better programs and stuff. So I guess you could share how you just started I guess strategizing and stuff.
Yeah, when I first started my channel, I did all my videos on my phone at first.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
You're braver
um,
than
I
me.
I think it's an app called Video Shop, and that's what I was using at first. And I was just it was just the basics. It was like the clips, maybe a little bit of music, and that was it.
Yeah.
Um, and from there, then I moved to iMovie, and I used iMovie for probably 6 or 9 months, and then after that, I
That doesn't
decided
even
that
upgrade.
yeah, and then after that, I decided that I wanted uh, a more professional platform because the editing part of it is something that I actually really enjoy. I like editing. I think it's kind of like my creative outlet.
It's like yeah, like
Um,
you're creating a movie and you get
yeah,
to direct it in a way.
exactly. And so I was like, well, if I like this, I'm going to be continuing to do it. So What I got then and still use now is Final Cut Pro because I have a Mac.
Right.
And I've been using Final Cut Pro for probably like a year and a half, almost 2 years now, and I'm still learning something new every time I use
Oh,
it.
really? Is a big program?
It is, but I think if you're using iMovie, it's pretty easy to transition from iMovie to Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
And then once you get the basics down, then you can start playing with other things and transitions and plugins and stuff like that. But yeah, like I was telling you earlier, I spent a lot of time just Googling how to put
Oh,
this transition in, or YouTubing how do I do this in Final Cut Pro. So I spend a lot of time just researching and
okay.
figuring out how to do things.
No, I appreciate it. I love your Chucky back there, by the way.
Oh, he is my favorite. I've been a fan of the Child's Play series. I think, I actually saw the first one. I was really young, almost when it first came out. And I've been a fan ever since. I've always wanted like a full scale good guy doll. And when Trick or Treat Studios said that they were selling them, I like jumped
You
on the
got mine,
opportunity.
right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and I'm sure you heard the story of Robert the Doll too, which is in my state in Key West, Florida. That's what that maybe that's something one day you'll come out here.
I'd love to. I think they let people stay in the house, right? That Robert the doll used to
Yeah,
be in.
yeah. I seen Omar do it. He stayed at was it Eugene Robert original house,
Yeah.
and then there's also the fort where Robert is too. So
Yeah, I'd definitely love to come check it out. Actually, my friend Brittany here on YouTube, she for my last birthday, she sent me one of the little like replicas of Robert the doll. I
yeah,
have them on my shelf, but yeah, I would love to go and visit. I hear you have to ask permission before you take a picture of
yeah.
them and
That's the
stuff like
story.
that.
I
I like to
visited
live
like
on the edge
challenges
and
stuff, huh?
yeah, I love to live on the edge a little bit and do things that might provoke spirits a little bit. Still being tasteful and classy and not,
Yeah,
being an idiot about it. But, if there's a chance that I could catch something paranormal, then I'm going to kind of provoke it a little bit.
yeah. No, I appreciate that. I was gonna say so, man. I feel like I have so many questions for you. So like for I guess I guess your vision of YouTube and so like that. I don't know, like the one thing I just actually was making a film today, and I guess we could jump on this with, like your thoughts and stuff. Like, a lot
Hmm.
of people try to do YouTube to like, for they focus too much on the views, they focus too much on like the subs and stuff like that. And like
Hmm.
for me, the things I was learning from other YouTubers, like from you and Shane Dawson and Ryan Style. Ryan Style, like these are like, you guys are my favorite people, and it's
Thank you.
and I know this is like pretty much our community. So like something I guess I try to share with people is like, do it because you want to, do it out of love, do it because you feel like it's gonna it's like therapy. This is like therapeutic to me. You know what I mean? Just venting,
Mhm.
sharing my thoughts, sharing my feelings, and I feel like it's a journey. So
Yeah, I agree. Um, I definitely think YouTube should be something that you do because you feel like it's a creative outlet, or making videos is something that you love, or the topic that you talk about is something that you love. I don't see anything wrong with people doing it, or getting into it more as a business, but
right,
don't let that consume you or as a creator. I always try to remember that it's more important to express yourself with this creative outlet and meet new people and collab with different people and gain new friends. And
yeah,
I think that's the most important thing about doing YouTube, because since I started, I've met so many different cool people and worked with so many different people that I looked up to when I first started creating videos. And
yeah.
it's you make a lot of friends, and don't let the business side of it take over the most important parts.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like, it's a good thing to share with people the fact that, this is something because we love to do. Like, this is our passion. Our, I always call it like something I've been working on, Michael, a lot for the last, like, I mean, since I've been making videos, like, I guess for a year, almost going, it will be 2 years eventually, but sorry. But what I'm saying is, like, for me, it was an outlet. It was a documentation of my journey, separation, divorce, and I know there's also a few YouTubers out there dealing with the same things I'm dealing with, but this is the fact that we are a community. We're here to love. We're here to encourage each other, like not to compete with each other, because I feel like lately, like like even the whole trend of the paranormal world is like, we don't need to fake this. This is real. You and me believe this. Like, a few people are really authentic and gentle, like really mean what they the evidence they record. So it's like
Right.
it's silly, like when people are just trying to fake these videos just for all the views and subs. That's what upsets me, the fact that I know that it's so real. That this is something that like you and me and a few others like don't like make up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And, I have no problem with people creating videos for entertainment purposes. Like, if you want to do more entertainment-based videos where it's more like a skit or like a horror movie or something like that, I have no problem with that. I would love to watch it and be scared. The only problem I have with it is when people go into places and claim that this activity is real paranormal activity when it's clearly not. And the thing that sucks about it is then their viewers think that all this huge activity happens every time that you're in a building. They think that chairs are going to be flipped over, things are going to be thrown, stuff's going to move, when really, when you investigate a place, a lot of your time is just spent waiting for something to happen. And when it does happen, it's just a knock or a bang, or you'll hear maybe a voice or something like that. And this huge activity that you expect to happen from other people's videos, it doesn't really happen that way. I mean, there's rare occasions that it does, but you're not going to catch that every time you go into a location.
No. It's a good question. So, like, what's your one of your favorite paranormal investigative equipment? What do you like the most right now lately?
I think one of my favorite pieces is the spirit box. Obviously, I think it's like
Yeah.
a staple, like one of the staple pieces that investigators use. But I also really like using dowsing rods or the spirit dice. I think those three are the main ones that I like to use. Other than my camera, I love using. I always tell people when they ask what should their first piece of equipment be, and I
Yeah.
say get a camera, because a camera, you can take pictures and catch evidence, you can take video and catch evidence, it can capture EVPs. So
Right.
there's a lot of different forms of evidence you can catch with just a camera.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that and your body too. It's like, I know, like, what I've been learning and hearing from different like paranormal investigators and stuff. Like, our bodies are gonna let us know if something's happening, like activity.
Mm-hmm. I want to answer. Michael Brown said, "What camera do you use?" I think he was asking me. If not, maybe he's asking you. But for me, I use two different cameras. I use a Canon Rebel T7i, and I also use a Canon G7X, depending on where I am. If I'm in a highly populated location, I'll use the G7X just because it's a lot smaller and it doesn't draw as much attention. But usually 90% of the time I'm filming with the Canon Rebel T7i.
I think, yeah, because oh yeah, by the way, I love your lighting. When you do your lighting, it's you need to eventually get a green screen, back there.
Oh, and that's another one of the things that I spent a lot of time watching YouTubes about researching is lighting, because it really
Makes a
lighting
difference.
sometimes can make or break a video. If it
Uh,
has really, if it has really bad lighting, it doesn't come off the greatest. But if you have something lit well, it makes it seem a lot more cinematic, I guess.
yeah, that's true. Like, so it's a better lighting, and because for me, I was thinking like pretty much getting like a green screen, so I could have a different
Mhm.
backdrops. I know a lot of YouTubers do that, especially live streamers. And then usually like what type of lights you usually get? This the circle ones, or like because I know there's like a whole bunch of different types of lights you could get.
Yeah, so when I'm at home and I'm filming, I use a ring light, and I usually have the ring light. Like right now, I have it off to the side of me here.
I can still see it. Yeah, I
Um,
can see the lighting.
yeah, so I use that to film, and then I usually have I'll be backlit a little bit because it kind of gives a depth of field a little bit more, kind of separates you from what's behind you, and I don't know. I think it just creates
It gives
a
it
great
different,
ambiance.
right? A different, I guess, kind of like, I guess, atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, April. How are you? But yeah, those are the main lights that I use when I'm filming, when I'm sitting down. When I'm on location, I'm trying to remember the name of the light that I use. Oh, it's Amaran is the company, or I think the name of the light, but it's really small. It's probably about this big, about this tall, but it is rechargeable, which I love, and it lasts for hours, and you can adjust the brightness, and
Yeah,
it's my favorite light that I put on my camera when I'm investigating.
I appreciate that. I appreciate these, this information, man. I appreciate that. Let me see. Does anyone have any questions for Michael? I know, Michael. Have you are you paying or making a visit to the Haunted Museum? I mean, that's something I want to do eventually.
I
Want to,
have. I think it was, how long ago was it? I think it was last year that I went to the Haunted Museum um, during one of my trips to Las Vegas, and it's a really cool place. It has a lot of cool different artifacts in it. Um, I think I had a couple favorite rooms. There's a room that you go into, and it's just covered with all these different haunted dolls that he has. I mean, from like floor to ceiling. So that room is really really cool. And then they have the stairs in there from the demon house, so that was really
right.
cool. I think I want to say, is it Peggy the doll that he has there?
Yeah, he has Peggy.
Yeah, and that's another really cool room to go into because well, at least when I went there, they had the spirit box going continuously while you're in there. So if anything came through, you could hear responses. You could ask Peggy questions while you're in there. So it's a really cool museum.
Yeah. How did you feel? I mean, yeah, that's a good question. So, like in the rooms, like, were you getting like how were you feeling from different experiences? Because that's something. Because I know I'm empathic and highly sensitive. I know like if I go in there, I'm sure I will feel a lot of different things and energies.
hmm Um, you can definitely feel different energies when you go into different rooms. Um, I don't know why, but I feel like whenever I'm bombarded by different energy, I always just go straight to being anxious. So
Right. Okay.
like the more anxious I get, the more I feel like it's almost like a meter for me to know like something's there or not.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, there's definitely feelings that you get when you go into different rooms. Some of them you kind of just feel like something's watching you, and some you just
All
feel like
right.
there's like a heaviness in the room. But it's a really cool museum, and there's a lot of different cool artifacts in there.
Yeah, that would be really fun. I wish people could film in there, but he probably just doesn't want to ruin the experiences for people and stuff.
Yeah, so
Because I know
when
you
you
have to sign the waiver.
yeah, when you first go into the museum, there's like a almost like a lobby or a waiting room before you actually start your tour,
Yeah.
and that's the only room that you're allowed to take pictures in. So I think on my Instagram I have a couple photos from the haunted museum, and those pictures are from the outside and just that one room that you're allowed to take pictures in, and then after that you're not allowed.
Yeah, probably because probably it's just to I guess I feel like it's to keep the experiences for different people. Because if people
Yeah.
are always filming all the time, it kind of like people don't want to come.
Right. If you can just watch it at home for free, why go and visit it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I definitely excited to go out there and check it out. I think it'd be fun. Give me 1 sec. I want to see if anyone has any questions for you.
Yeah.
Um, of the Titanic mirror, yeah. Did you see the Titanic mirror, Michael?
I can't remember. You know, one of the only thing that I didn't like about the tour is that it is a guided tour. So you don't get to spend as much time as you want in each room.
Yeah.
You get to go in with the tour guide. They give their speech or whatever. You get to look around for a little bit, and then they move you on to the next place. So you know, when I'm the type of person when I'm there, since this is the stuff that I love, I want to take all the time
Yeah,
I can looking at everything, you know?
yeah.
And so that's the only drawback about it, is that you have to like kind of move on when they say. So you know, there's a lot of things that I wish I could have taken a better look at that.
You know
I'll
something
just,
like I remember talking to someone about it would be cool to have two different tours, one for like paranormal investigators and then
mhm.
the other tours for like just people who want to come in and see the museum for itself.
The April and Joey were talking about the Bela Lugosi mirror that I do remember seeing, and um, I can't remember what it was, but I don't remember what the legend is with the mirror. But
And that's
um,
Dracula, right?
so like each one of us, if you wanted, you could take turns like looking
And
into the mirror and stuff like that.
uh,
So that was really cool. Of course, I did it because I was like, "You can come home. I'll bring the ghost home with me, whatever." But yeah, that was really cool. And then the room that has the demon house stairs in it, it's a separate
okay.
room by itself, and it's one of the rooms that you don't have to go in if you feel uncomfortable. But of course, I went in there and I was like,
No.
"Come on, like, show me if something's in here. Let me know."
Did you feel anything? 'Cause obviously, you're supposed to be the goat man.
Yeah, you know, it's creepy because when you go into that room, they have the stairs, and then they have a full statue or figure of what Zach saw that night.
Yeah.
So it's creepy while you're in there. You do get a vibe, you know, if there is like a spirit or something there. I can't say that I necessarily felt anything like real heavy or evil.
Right.
I did feel like there was something there, but I wouldn't go as far to say as I felt an evil presence or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be great to like pull out the spirit box.
Oh, I know. I wish.
And we like
I wish.
put it on, start filming. I
Hmm.
don't know. That's why. That's why I think it'd be really cool for like him to have two different tours, but he only got the one. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe he'll change his mind, but we'll see.
You know, it would be awesome if he had like an after hours tour where he let people come in and do investigations in the different rooms, and even if you can't record it, it still would be fun to go in and see if you get any evidence from this stuff, you know.
Yeah, 'cause there's so much. I'm sure there's so much energy in there and different spirits. It must be crazy at night.
Yeah.
It's probably 10 times creepier.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those places that there has to be activity there with all the different stuff that he has collected.
I know that's crazy. And I know he has like even Charles Manson assets there too.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. He has like this, one of the rooms that you go in is kind of dedicated to like different um, serial killers and murders and stuff that were incarcerated. So when
Yeah.
you go in, it has a very sterile, almost like jail feeling to it, and it has all their different artifacts in there.
Um, Sorry, Michael. Trying to see if anyone has any questions. I know,
Yeah.
Michael. I don't know. You had the chance to see some of my videos. Like, especially I went to whenever you get a chance to come down to Orlando. They have it's called American Ghost Adventures, and they do
Mhm.
a 2 hour tour, which is pretty cool. I mean, they didn't want us to film because I brought my camera to film and stuff like that. But you do get like a they call it mini investigation towards the end. But we did get a door to slam, and that's how I'm for me when I went. That's how I realized like I'm really an empath and highly sensitive because I remember going down the hallway and it's all pitch black and I could just feel the room change and stuff like that. Like I felt the heaviness
Mhm.
and so my senses were like coming in and it's like, oh man, like I even got to the point of dizziness and lightheaded from it. But we did get a
Yeah.
door slam and the girl screamed, which was kind of funny. It was like, oh, let me go over there because I just kept them feeling drawn to different spots and stuff like that. So we were trying
Yeah.
to communicate with the spirit there.
I think, I think everybody is sensitive to some degree. Some people are more sensitive than others, and some
Yeah,
people just choose not to listen to their gut or their feelings. But you know, when I always tell people, if you walk into a room and you feel something in your gut, or you get chills or whatever, I'm like, that's like you're picking up on that stuff in the room, in the atmosphere. And I kind of tell people, it's almost like, if you walk into a room and you can feel the crowd and you can tell if they're in a good mood or you can feel if
yeah,
everybody
I
is
do. Every time
happy.
I go to work, man, I get pick up the energy right away. Like I can tell when people are like either and like it's slow and it's chill, and then like
Yeah.
I could go days and it's like hectic. I can feel the tension.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. And I think some people just dismiss it when it comes to the paranormal, just trying to say, oh, it's this and that or whatever. And I just tell people, just listen to what your body's telling you. If something feels weird, then maybe there is something around you.
Yeah. Actually, good question. Do you sage before and after your investigations,
Um,
or do you just wait
I,
when you get home?
I don't necessarily do it before or after investigations. If I get home and I feel like the energy in my house is weird or different or anything like that, then I'll go
Right.
through and sage the house and stuff. Um, but for me, I feel like if you go into an investigation with good intent and with a healthy mind, a healthy body, um, I don't think it's very often that something's really going to attach to you and come home with you. I feel like sometimes um, after you leave a place, you're just more heightened to the stuff that's going on around you.
Yeah.
So, you could be picking up on that, but I always tell people, I'm like, these ghosts have haunted these places for hundreds of years.
Right. Way
What makes
before.
them gonna want to leave and go home with you? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I have definitely heard on different podcasts and paranormal investigators where they said like that we would be too boring for the ghosts to want to chill with us that bad, you know?
Yeah, and like Joey just brought up, after all of us went to the battleship, once we got home, we had weird experiences. Like um, the night after, I was in my hotel room still, and just that whole night, I could feel like there was something standing in the room watching me. And when I got home, I felt like there was more activity within my house. Like I would hear like knocks and bangs and stuff like that. And
You run
um,
away. Were you
yeah,
freaking out or were you just like, oh, this is interesting?
it's I wasn't freaking out. It's one of those things where I was like, what's going on and where is all this activity coming from? And um, you know, I, I don't necessarily, I don't know if something followed us home or not.
Yeah,
I'm more uh, I'm more inclined to believe that I think when you put yourself in these situations and open yourself up to the paranormal, you become almost like a beacon. And
right. I know what you're saying.
I think it's easier to draw spirits to you when you're open to it. And I think after experiences and going to haunted locations, I think you're just more of a beacon. And so for
Right.
the days afterwards, I think there's just more energy drawn to you. So you're going to have more experiences. Um, but I'm not psychic, so I don't know for sure. I don't know what was around me then, and so, but that's just kind of my thoughts on it.
Do you get paranormal hangovers? They call it, like after like you do an investigation, the next day you feel like crap.
I do, especially the day after we went to the battleship. I feel like the battleship was one of the most active places that I've ever been
Sure
in.
it was.
And I feel like after that, the day after that, I just felt so completely drained for the entire day. You know, it almost felt like I had a hangover and, you know, we didn't have anything to drink at all. But I just felt so drained the next day, and it took me like a day to recover.
Yeah, no, like whenever I go to the cemeteries and stuff like that, I always like the next day I feel awful
Hmm.
because like probably because I have opened myself so much. Like I was gonna say, sometimes you're braver than me. You use the spirit box at home. I don't know if I could do it anymore. I have had
Yeah.
activity lately. Yeah,
Um, it's one of the things that, you know, I, I really enjoy going to haunted locations and stuff like
yeah,
that. And but it is different when you're investigating your own home, because your home is supposed to be your safe spot, you know, like
right.
where you can go home, you can let your guard down, you can relax, you don't have to worry about, you know, anything coming at you in the middle of the night. But when you are investigating your own house and you do have weird things happen during the investigation, then, you know, it kind of puts you on edge a little bit.
Yeah, because it's like because you could probably put your thoughts on it too. Like everyone always thinks like the Ouija board is like demonic and satanic, like evil, like using it. I guess I feel like a lot of people are afraid of using the Ouija board, but someone like once I heard pretty much like any form of device, it's pretty much the same thing. Ouija board, spirit box, dowsing rods. What else we could use? Audio recorders. It's all opening that door.
Yeah, you know, and that's why, you know, that's why I get really
Frustrating.
upset when people talk about the Ouija board being this evil, demonic
Oh,
object. You know, the way that I feel about it is it's just a communication tool. It's the same as a spirit box, the
right.
same as dowsing rods. Anything you use like that, it's opening up a door to communicate. I think it's all within your intent. If you want to
Right, I
communicate with
believe
something
that.
good, you're going to communicate with good things. But if you're using a Ouija board and, you know, trying to provoke negative energies and stuff like that, then of course something bad may come through. But the board itself is just a
It's just
communication.
wood.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, if it was that evil, I don't think a game company would be mass producing them and selling them to kids. You know what I mean?
yeah. I was gonna say, um, let me know, like, I guess, when you feel like it's a good time to, I guess, end this live stream. I was gonna say, what's been your favorite location?
Um, you know, I think I think I have two. I think the battleship for sure has been one of my favorite locations, just because of how much activity we experienced while we were there. And the other one, I really, really enjoyed going to the Bliska Axe Murder House. Um, you know, when you go to a location like that with such a heavy traumatic history to it, um, it's like stepping back in time when you go into the house, and you know, you start to almost feel what that family went through, or you know, and so I think it's just really cool to experience those locations. So I think those are my two favorites so far.
You have any, I guess, things you want to share, like going on with your channel, like any newer locations coming soon?
You know, I'm trying to plan some more. I don't have anything like locked down right now. I have a video coming up tomorrow. Another video from Goldfield when we went to the Goldfield Hotel, and I think we explored the cemetery there a little bit tomorrow. And then I have another video coming up soon from the Queen Mary, and I don't know. I have another video that I'm filming right now about different monsters within my area. So I'm always trying to think of new places to go. in different things. Like I don't always want to focus just on hauntings and ghosts. I like to go to different alien abduction sites and where they crashed and can't talk, where a UFO was said to
I
crash
know
and
what you
stuff
mean.
like that. So and that's why I'm doing the monster video, because I think it's important when you're a paranormal investigator. Paranormal is such an umbrella term to so many different things: monsters,
That's
aliens, cryptids, and I want to explore all of it and investigate all different types of things.
true. Something like one thing I always enjoy, like when you guys like create your videos, is like doing a lot of drone shots. That's something like I'd be interested in, eventually getting, my green screen and my lights and stuff. But I would love to like go out and film and do a lot of drone shots. I guess I could show you this experience too. So like I did a St. Augustine type of video, pretty much a vlog, and I came home with an attachment from the fort, which was interesting because my girlfriend's actually a medium, and so it's something crazy I experienced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think when you start using different things like drones and stuff, I really do feel like it adds a whole nother element to your video, and like that's why I like to just experiment and try different things with my videos. And not every video is going to perform the greatest, and you just learn from that, and then okay, people aren't really into that, and I'm gonna try something else next time.
Yeah. So, um, what's your take on? Have you seen the trailer already for the new Annabelle film?
I am so excited for it, for a couple of reasons. I'm really excited for it because I feel like they're going to encompass a lot of items from the Warren's Occult Museum. So
Yeah.
I think that's going to be really cool. And I'm excited because it looks like Ed and Lorraine are going to be in it for a little bit. Not Ed and Lorraine, but Patrick
Yeah.
Wilson. And so I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited. I think not all those movies within the Conjuring universe, some of them are better than others, but as a whole, I think every movie has been really, really good.
I think so. And then something. Did you see the new Pet Cemetery movie?
I did.
Have you done a
I
review on it or not yet?
What was that?
I said, have you done a review on it or?
No, I haven't. I did like like a quick brief review on Twitter of what I thought about it, but I really enjoyed the movie, and I'm not going to give away anything here. I really enjoyed the
No
movie.
spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. I enjoyed it except for the ending. That's the only part that I didn't like, and I'm not going to tell you what happened, but I
I
just
know.
didn't like the ending.
I know. Yeah, I'm kind of behind with my movies and stuff. So, yeah, I think Annabelle will be interesting. Isn't something I guess I was trying to figure out. Like I guess maybe they're trying to find different takes on the film. Is that what you're getting from those films?
I think so. Yeah, I think they're just kind of, yeah, like you said, getting different takes on it.
And then
Um,
ending the story, I think.
yeah, I am really excited for the new Child's Play movie. I like I said, of course, I'm like a huge fan of the Child's Play series, but I don't like that the latest movies have been more comical. I don't really like that. When I watch a horror movie, I just want it to be scary.
Yeah,
So I'm excited that the new movie is going back to just like being a horror movie, and I'm excited to see what they do with that.
yeah. I know. Did you? I don't know if you ever watched like The Devil's Rejects or House of Thousand Corpses, Rob Zombie films, but I know he's making another one.
It's been a long time since I've seen them, but I've seen a couple of them.
They were
Some
rough.
of them,
They were rough, man. Like they hurt
yeah,
my eyes. Well, I saw this when I was a little bit younger. I don't know, man. I know House of Thousand Corpses really like kind of like wrecked me, and then in a way, like in a I guess a negative way, because it was like so much like killing and death, and like I guess at that time I couldn't deal with all that.
yeah. You know, I'm not a big fan of really gory horror movies. I like more the supernatural, paranormal type stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, his movies, some of them are just a little over the top, I guess. You
Right.
know, like, but I mean, they're all really unique and cool in their own way. Just kind of not really up my alley.
I know what you're saying. I guess, Michael, do you ever do gaming? Do you ever do a little bit of that?
I I'm the worst gamer possible
No,
because
I might be.
I will play something for about a half hour, and as soon as I come to a part in the video game where I can't beat, I just quit and I'm done and I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, that's what I do. Because usually, like, if I get stuck in a certain, I just like, oh, I'll just get it later, and then usually I do it the next day. So
April said, "What about the Dybbuk box room?" So the Dybbuk box room at the museum is really cool. Also, it's another one of the rooms where they give you a disclaimer beforehand that you don't have to go in it if you don't want to. But of course, I went in there, and it's a really cool room. I don't think it really felt much in that room, and I don't know if it's just because the box was in like a glass case and sealed,
right,
and I didn't necessarily feel that much while I was in there, but it was really cool to see it up close and personal.
yeah, yeah. I did you ever see that movie, The Possession?
Um, I think so. Is that the one with like Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
I think so. It's pretty much it's supposed to be based off of the Bird Box.
Yeah, yeah. It was a good movie. I liked it.
It's interesting. I thought it was pretty good. Michael, I guess what would be like your number one tip or your number one, I guess, in a way, your revelation, what's been going on with you, like, what you want to share, YouTubers out here that are starting. I guess I would say I'm not a noob, but I'm in the middle. So I guess what are things you want to encourage people and stuff that they want to
I think
even
I
YouTube or
think
whatever.
I think it's just important to remember that you're doing it because you are passionate about it, or because you love it, or it's a creative outlet for you. Um, and remember, don't compare yourself to other channels. I know it's hard sometimes not to,
Yeah,
um, but just stay focused on you and remember that everybody grows at their own rate. Everybody grows at a different pace. Um, I feel like for the longest time, my channel grew very slowly. Like
yeah, for me,
I've been,
I'm feeling
no,
that. I feel
I
good.
have been, I've been making videos for probably like three and a half years now, and you know,
Oh wow.
since I've started, I've seen channels that started the same time as me just blow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then there's other channels like me that grow slower, but I just kind of, the way that I think about it is, as long as I'm a smaller channel, I still get the opportunity to interact with everybody on my channel. You know, I still get to respond to all the comments and read everybody's feedback and hear their stories. And so there is an upside to being a smaller channel. And you know, if you just stick with it, keep doing it, you will grow. It may not be as fast as somebody else, but you know
yeah.
what? You will grow.
Right. I think alongside grow and continue to push and to better improve my video qualities, because I think that's
Mhm.
something you kind of like, in a way, you helped me get a revelation, the fact that like I had to treat this like as my own movie, and how I would conduct this and how I would do different things and stuff.
Yeah, you know, when I first started making videos, um, I didn't put a whole lot of thought into them ahead of time. I just, you know, I would sit down and start filming, and now, uh, you know, I learn what I know what I want to convey in the video, so I kind of plan out ahead of time specific things that I want to at least touch on or talk about, or how to make the video flow a little bit smoother and not jump around from here to there, and like
I know,
stuff like
I'm
that.
still
So,
learning those things.
but it's one of those things that it takes time, practice, and doing it over and over again before you get in a rhythm.
Yeah, sure. Have you ever done a like I guess a video content and you took a lot of like takes and stuff like that?
Um, all of it, like when I'm doing location-based videos, I feel like it's a lot easier for me, because I feel like I can just say whatever comes to my head.
Right.
If I'm doing a sit-down video where I'm talking about a subject or going over the history of something, oh my
Yeah.
God, it takes me so long to film because I stumble over my words. It sounds like what I'm saying makes no sense at all. So that's kind of why I don't do as many sit-down videos anymore and do more
Okay. Okay.
location-based
I know
because,
what you're saying. 'Cause at least when you're there, you're just filming, filming, filming,
right, yeah.
and that's easier. Like I think I like more of the filming than the editing part right now. But I'm working on it. I know it takes time, but I mean I appreciate it. Like is there anything you want to talk about or anything like I guess you want to share with people? What's on your mind lately?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think it's just, I just like, for me, I like to watch other channels that are honest and truthful and are like-minded like me, that are out there looking for evidence or looking, for the truth. And those are the ones that I kind of hone in on. And I'm always more than willing to check out somebody's channel if they seem like they're legit or that they really are passionate about what they're doing. So yeah, I just I kind of do my thing on YouTube and try not to pay too much attention to what everybody else is doing, because then you fall into that game of comparing yourself to others, and that's never fun.
No, you're right. And I don't know, like for me, I guess I would say like I think that's something like I'm continuing to learn to find my niche because I know I try to do the food the mukbangs. I think they're is that
Mhm.
how you say it? So I done some of those. I done some gaming. I done some like going to different places. I mean, I'm always drawn to the paranormal, man. So that's something that's been I guess pulls me the most. But
Mhm.
I also been told I'm pretty good, I guess, in making vlogs and talking and doing interviews like this and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, and over time you'll find out what types of videos you love to create and which ones you don't like to create. And like through my channel, I used to do like different series. I would do haunted history, and I did creature feature for a little while where I talk about different creatures out there. And I did scary stories Sunday when my channel first started doing paranormal, where I'd read other people's scary stories. And you just learn over time what you really like to do and what you don't. And just always remember to do what you like, because that's going to shine through. If you're doing something that you don't really like to do, then people are going to know that you don't really care about doing that. It's the stuff that you really like that people will focus in on and get interested in.
All right. I mean, I appreciate it. Everything tonight, Michael. I really appreciate you, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to learn more about yourself, learn more about your channel. Definitely tell everyone like what are all your different plugins.
So like you can find me at Michael Scott here on YouTube, and all my links to my other social media are in the description of my video. So if you just search Michael Scott, one word, one T, I should pop up there somewhere.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Michael. If you don't have anything else, we can wrap this up. So,
Sure, of course. Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
all right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So, everyone, thank you for checking this time out. I really appreciate everyone. And go definitely check out Michael's YouTube channel. I'll put down the link down below. Hope you guys have a good night. And thank you again, Michael. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, no problem. All right, man. Have a good night.
You too.